Savannah Chrisley admits she got plastic surgery after fast 40-pound weight gain took a toll. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. Savannah Chrisley revealed she recently went under the knife on her latest podcast episode. The 27-year-old confessed to getting liposuction after gaining 40 pounds, literally, in 3 months during Tuesday's episode of Unlocked. She told listeners, "I was going through all kinds of stuff with my endometriosis, and I had taken this medication. It happened fast," the Chrisley Knows Best alum continued. "It was a while ago. It was around Christmas time." Chrisley explained that she felt like shit before the procedure, which took a toll on her physically, mentally, and emotionally. Afterwards, she felt like a whole different human being. Want more celebrity and pop culture news? Start your day with Page 6 Daily. The results made Todd and Julie Chrisley's daughter want to live a healthier life in order to keep up her slimmed-down appearance. Savannah, who also spoke about her recent nose job, said she was initially afraid to share her surgery history because of the judgment that goes along with it. She called the quick fix lipo necessary because of her life in the public eye. "That's the thing, being on TV and having to do a campaign shoot for a product. I'm like, I can't show up looking the way that I look," Savannah recalled. "To me, it didn't fit the brand. I didn't feel good." She did note that working out and eating right wasn't working as she went through all of her health stuff. Savannah has been vocal about her weight struggles since revealing her endometriosis diagnosis and subsequent surgeries in 2020. "My weight fluctuates, and that's just called being a woman and loving food," she told Fox News that February. "If I'm feeding my body great food, then my moods and life will thrive." Savannah talked to Life and Style 5 months later about losing the 30 pounds she gained in 6 months with the help of the South Beach diet. Savannah Chrisley has always been under the public eye, a reality that started when she was still a teenager growing up in front of cameras, surrounded by lights, cameras, and the glitzy chaos of the entertainment world. But behind the carefully curated selfies and confident red carpet appearances, there was a deeply personal journey, one that involved self-discovery, heartbreak, and a decision that she never thought she would share with the world in such a raw, honest way when she recently opened up about her choice to undergo plastic surgery. It sent ripples through both her fan base and the broader celebrity sphere, not because she did it, but because she admitted it with a vulnerability that peeled back the shiny surface fans had grown so used to. Her admission came not in a flashy magazine spread or a choreographed sit-down interview, but in a quiet moment of reflection where her voice carried the weight of her truth. She explained how a sudden shift in her body left her not just physically uncomfortable, but mentally and emotionally exhausted. It wasn't just about how her clothes fit or how she looked in photos. It was about the psychological toll the transformation had taken on her identity, confidence, and sense of self. The gain had been quick, so quick she said that she could barely recognize the girl in the mirror anymore. Savannah had always prided herself on strength. She built an image around resilience, faith, and perseverance, especially as her family went through very public legal battles, the pressure to hold everything together, to be the anchor when so many things were falling apart, forced her to neglect her own health in subtle, almost invisible ways. Sleepless nights, stress eating, and emotional overload slowly crept in until the effects were undeniable. She tried to manage it naturally through diet and exercise. She tried meditation, new routines, even cutting off toxic relationships. But nothing seemed to reverse the changes that had happened faster than she could control. The world that once cheered for her confidence became quick to point fingers, whispering speculations, and offering cruel commentary on social media platforms that have become battlegrounds of public opinion. The same fans who once praised her glow were now dissecting her appearance in ways that cut deeper than she could have ever prepared for, and that pain settled in her chest, creating a storm of self-doubt. She had to hide every time. To get plastic surgery was not impulsive. It was not a vanity move. It was not driven by pressure to fit into industry standards or to please others. It was a choice made from a place of self-care, from a moment of stillness, where she finally admitted to herself that she deserved to feel comfortable in her own skin again. It was not just about changing something on the outside. It was about reclaiming the parts of herself she felt had been taken away by years of emotional and psychological weight. The surgery was a step in a journey of healing, not the destination. She chose to speak about it not because she owed anyone an explanation, but because she knew there were others out there battling similar demons who felt shame in their struggles and isolation in their decisions. By telling her truth, she hoped to shine a light on the nuances of body image, the silent pressures women face, especially those in the public eye, and the courage it takes to choose yourself, even when the world tries to tell you not to. There were tears when she first looked in the mirror post-recovery, not because of the changes she saw, but because of the weight she felt lifted from her soul. For the first time in what felt like forever, she could breathe without the heavy fog of self-loathing clouding her every move. Her smile felt real again. Her laughter sounded like it belonged to her, not a rehearsed version of happiness she used to wear like a mask. Savannah's journey is more than just a story of surgery. It is about survival, about finding the strength to honor your body and mind and heart when they cry out for care in a world that often encourages silence. It is about being brave enough to admit that strength is not about pretending everything is fine, but about facing the parts of yourself that need compassion and grace. It is about healing in public while navigating the relentless scrutiny of those who only see the headlines, not the human behind them. She spoke about the support she received from close friends, the people who held her hand through consultations, checked on her during recovery, and reminded her that she was worthy before, during, and after the transformation. Their love reminded her that this decision did not define her, it only empowered her to take back control of her narrative and rediscover her light. Her honesty opened the door to thousands of messages from women and men alike who thanked her for her vulnerability. Some admitted they too had been considering similar procedures, but felt ashamed. Others said they had gone through it and never told a soul because of the stigma. She reminded them that their choices were valid and their journeys deserved to be honored without judgment. In the aftermath of her revelation, the noise did not go away entirely. There were critics, skeptics, and trolls who still tried to reduce her story to shallow headlines, but Savannah chose not to give them power. She chose instead to stand firm in her truth and continue living boldly, as a reminder that beauty is not just in the way you look, but in the way you rise after falling, in the way you tell your story, even when your voice trembles, in the way you love yourself fiercely in a world that profits from your insecurities. She said the experience taught her patience, not just with her body, but with her emotions and expectations. She learned that healing is not linear, that some days would be filled with doubt and others with celebration. But through it all, she found strength in showing up for herself, in choosing love over shame, hope over fear, authenticity over perfection. Savannah's choice to speak out became more than a personal confession. It became a cultural moment, a shift in how we talk about body image recovery and the silent wars waged behind closed doors. She joined a growing chorus of voices demanding that we rethink our relationship with beauty and worth, and that we start offering kindness instead of criticism, understanding instead of assumptions, grace instead of gossip. She has not promised that she will never struggle again. She's human after all, and healing is a lifelong process. But she has promised herself to never hide her truth again, to never shrink herself to fit into anyone else's expectations, and to always honor the journey, even when it gets messy. Through this new chapter, she carries herself with a renewed sense of peace, a quiet kind of power that comes not from how she looks, but from how deeply she knows herself. She stands not just as a celebrity or influencer, but as a woman who dared to take back her narrative, rewrite her story, and show the world that true beauty begins when you choose to love yourself enough to become who you are meant to be, no matter what it takes. Her fans continue to rally around her with overwhelming support and admiration, not because she looks different, but because she dared to be different, to show her scars, both emotional and physical, and to wear them like badges of honor, proof that she has fought battles many will never see and emerged stronger, more radiant, and more unapologetically herself. This chapter of Savannah Chrisley's life is not about surgery. It is about evolution, transformation, and empowerment. It is a reminder that behind every smile is a story, and behind every decision is a journey that deserves to be respected, not ridiculed. As she steps forward with courage, grace, and truth, she invites the world to look deeper, to see beyond the headlines, and remember that every person is fighting a battle we may never understand. And in that space of understanding, compassion, and truth, we find the beginning of something powerful, not just for Savannah, but for everyone who dares to choose healing over hiding, truth over image, and love over fear. Always love over fear, always. The choice to rise, always the choice to be seen, to be known, to be whole again. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.